Hey everybody, welcome back to GREEDFALL. I've gone ahead and crafted some upgrades for all of our empty slots that we could, like in our torso stuff. Basically just took more armor. I do realize, actually, that we have... If we grab this, we have lockpicking 3, and there's this chest that's been here from the very beginning. We can now open. Hello! Whoa, okay. These are fine. This would probably have been much better earlier if we could have taken advantage of that, but not a big deal. We'll take it. We'll just break those down later. Okay, so we're going to Constantine to talk about a couple of things, and this is likely going to push us into the next major chapter. And we'll have to make some more decisions. After this, though, we're going to spend some time on Petrus's requests. And Afra has some requests as well, so we might just party those up and see what happens.
Happy to see you, my dear.
You really don't look well. Have you not yet seen a doctor?
No, it's nothing. You know that I've always had a weak stomach. My nausea will leave me eventually.
I don't think he looks any different.
You wanted to tell me something?
Allow me to present Afra, an emissary of the Bridge Alliance. She is an eminent naturalist who studies local flora in an effort to find a remedy.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor.
You were part of Governor Buren's lost expedition, if I've understood correctly, were you not?
Yes, and our research would have borne fruit if it hadn't been so brutally interrupted.
I can only imagine. Nevertheless, you are most welcome. Your great learning will certainly prove useful. I implore you, my dear cousin. Do continue. We're eager to hear your news.
Okay. Well... Okay, this is all fine.
We were not able, alas, to stop the clash between the forces of the Alliance and Siora's clan. We arrived at the village and the battlefield too late. The Queen fell.
I'm extremely sorry for your loss, Princess.
Thank you. My sister survived, fortunately, and we are recovering from this tragedy together. But our clan was extremely weakened by this battle and by recent events.
We shall keep a close eye on the Bridge Alliance and their undertakings. Rest assured.
You should know that the battle took place in the middle of ancient ruins. The ruins were quite strange. We discovered a fresco that I'm certain was crafted by continental hands.
Really?
Talking about that painting on the wall and that...
And how ancient are these ruins?
Ruins.
Could they date back to the first landings of the Bridge Alliance?
They date much farther back than their arrival would explain. My mother and my grandmother have always known them.
Siora told me of a legend that spoke of them, about a people from the sea that were vanquished there.
Do you think it was the Nauts?
It is not our custom to found a landlocked settlement. We have our islands, and it is enough for us.
If they are
ancient. Hi, Vasco.
Perhaps your people once practiced older customs. This story is troubling, but it reminds me of something that I once read in the reports of Lady Morange. You should go and find her. Perhaps she could tell us more about them.
Very well.
Anything else?
I wanted to inform you of our progress made in the attempt to discover a cure. As you advised, I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of which led anywhere. However, they both pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god that the natives worship. They call him En-on-mil Frictaman, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
Can't be.
I saw it with my own eyes take shape during a ritual. It is possible that the Malachor is the expression of its vengeance.
In that case, wouldn't it make sense that the colonizers of the island were touched before anyone else?
That would seem logical. I admit that I don't know to what degree he is implicated, if at all. But if anyone knows of a remedy on this island, it is without a doubt En-on-mil Frictaman.
Princess, could you shed some light on this being? Is it possible to meet him?
All the Donegada know him. He is the strength, the spirit of Tir Fredi. You were looking for a demon or a remedy from plants, so I did not think of him. But yes, he is very powerful and as old as our world. He could surely heal your sickness. But it is not simple to meet him. Impossible, I would think. Though it is not my place to judge, you need to earn the trust of Glendan, the Elder of the Council. Ask him for his help. He lives in the village of Dorchad Genadu. It is in the heart of our island, at the entrance to our most sacred lands.
Thank you for your help, Princess. I will not forget the numerous services you have provided for us. And thank you, dear cousin, for everything.
She's basically carrying us through this. Let's be honest. So when we come talk to Constantine, the whole group shows up, which is kind of cool. So we need to go and question Lady Morong, and then we need to meet with Glendon, the leader of the council. So we'll do that, but I think it's time that we try to talk to Petrus, talk to Father. Maybe we start here, Father Lestinius, Trouble in Eden, and we'll compose our team of Petrus. Let's add him, and do we bring Vasco? I think I'm gonna bring Afra, actually. We're gonna bring both of these.
Have you considered my proposition?
I have.
What was it again, precisely?
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. She is a formidable woman, gifted and diplomatically skilled. I fear that your cousin might be a little defenseless when dealing with her, and would like to give him a few weapons.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter of formal encounters and choreographed etiquette. If we had the means to action more personal leverage, the Mother Cardinal could not manipulate your cousin.
Okay, cool.
How could we ever find anything of that sort?
Everyone has nasty little secrets, my child. It's our task to discover Cornelia's.
Very well. Let's go and discover what the governor would rather keep hidden from the world.
Excellent.
How would you like to go about this?
We must search her apartments in St. Matthias. They'll be guarded, of course. But if we are discreet, that shouldn't be a problem.
This is taking quite a risk. The congregation's reputation could suffer if we're caught, and my cousin's position would be weakened.
I know. But keep in mind that I know the palace extremely well.
All right.
And if we want to be sure to pass without being noticed, we need only dress ourselves up as servants.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That would improve our chances. Well, let's do it.
Okay, cool. We're set. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So that's that. We're gonna handle this one first. Let's get out of here. And then eventually, if we can get the trust of this other person, then we can maybe come face to face with the man of 1,000 faces. We can at least come face to face with one of his faces, if you catch my drift. Let's go back to our place here, and we're gonna travel out. Let me just break down this gear that we're not gonna use. Okay. So we're heading into the Blacklands. Way deep in here. Set up camp right outside. That's all 3 in the region. And check their contracts here.
What an astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Oh, Justinius. Okay, destroy the Yorglin's nest. Very aggressive Yorglins have built a nest north of Eden. Be cautious if you need to follow the road to the northeast or go into the bushes. A reward will be offered to whoever destroys these nests. We can supply you with traps. And then the Traveler's Grave. I appeal to the better nature of travelers on the Vedvilvi Road. My brother decided to explore it and never returned. If any of you find his body, please dig a grave for him so that he may rest in peace. He must still have his coin purse on him. I'd be happy to leave it to you as a reward. Vedvilvi Road. Oh, look at this, man. They've got a pretty good setup here.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
Oh, that's right.
Excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia.
You got it.
She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship
Of
by
course.
stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine
Oh,
blessing.
thank you for the blessing. I
I never
appreciate
thought
that.
I'd see natives living like this, side by side with the settlers. I doubt that things happened as harmoniously as they'd like us to believe.
It all seems a bit too convenient.
There's
If we
no way
find
in
out
hell.
some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
Oh, we can learn about the story of Eden.
Father,
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsanegad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So,
Until
we
they were
decided to
stolen.
rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
So they felt that they were basically led here and that it was a sign from quote-unquote God. This is the place they need to be in.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise, but I am sure you will come to appreciate it.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
Anybody that doesn't believe their singular beliefs are heretics. Now hold on, there's actually a couple places to learn about this. But only that one's marked, so I'm curious. It may actually want us to go to talk to each of these anyway, but... this would be an interesting place to hear Siora's thoughts on whether or not these guys are truly here because they want to be, or...
Hello.
Oh, cool.
I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. Desarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Certainly going to be different from what we just heard.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Teleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd, and all these things. One morning, they were building houses next to ours.
Oh, wow.
And we had new neighbors.
They just moved right in.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them. They were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
So they're... okay. You know what? The natives, these guys are the best. They're just like, it was better than getting all our stuff destroyed, and we just let them think what they want.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
Okay.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men. Perhaps wiser than they are.
This dude is super strong-willed. Good for him.
Like so many others.
Ugh. Okay, thank you for the help. That actually paints a pretty interesting picture. Okay, I'm actually going to head to this camp real quick. And I'm going to bring Siora along for this. Let's gather the companions. Afra, Chill, Siora, let's go. Now, we've got a couple of things over here. Brother Virgil and Sister Eugenia. Now, he was Eugenia was the one that he told us to go to. So we'll just talk to her last. I like how it's like, how did this happen? Well, they kind of just started building their houses, and we were, that was about it. To the left is Eugenia. This is Brother Virgil.
I am busy. If you have questions,
Sweet.
Go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
I am busy. You look quite busy, yeah. Who's this?
If you are saying that these tablets bear writings from the very hand of our holy founder, then we must find them. Without them, all our research to trace the life of St. Matthias on this island is doomed to failure. If these savages have stolen them, we will have to take them back, by force if necessary.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
First of all, let's ask about Eden's
The
creation.
Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings. And then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of St. Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Well, you probably were, by the sounds of things.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful.
So, like, from their perspective, obviously it was quite a bit less invasive than it was from the natives' perspectives who lived here. But it's cool to hear the different sides of the story, and you can see the similarities, but you can also really feel the differences.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on St. Matthias is conducted.
Okay.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Okay, well.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to. But I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, It was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Oh, Brother
Well, thank you
Virgil.
for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
Don't get your hopes up.
Thank you. I will let you work.
Fidelis Virgil.
Greetings.
No wonder he
Desade.
didn't want to talk.
I'm handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
Oh god, not again.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia
Oh
here,
boy.
but my superior is Bishop Domitius. Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to Ptolemy, since the god of light offered it to our founder.
If your superior's Domitius,
Yep.
you are a member of the Ordo Luminis. I did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionaries. They usually do not get along.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi.
Well,
They eventually left.
guess that's us.
And it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
Well, what do you think we're gonna ask you?
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Does it really matter what he says at all here? Like, we obviously don't trust him.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Of course.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit.
Maybe not a group.
All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Of course he
Well,
does.
since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here. And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there.
Well,
And why does it matter anyway?
if it's no difference to
There were
you,
witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are
hold up.
justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things.
okay, what if they didn't, what if the tablets they found weren't actually this, and they just said this is what the tablets were? They found maybe some tablets or whatever, they're basic tablets. But now, because they want to say that these were written by Saint Matthias or whatever, that they've made them disappear so that nobody can prove them wrong.
I will leave you to your work. Goodbye. I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into two parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
This is why we need these two. Okay, cool. We've got work to do. We're going to investigate the shack ourselves and see if there's any possible way that somebody could have taken them. Very likely that these guys are they've hidden them themselves, and the tablets are probably not what they seem. But, hey, maybe...